All right. I hope all of you will hear me, right? Okay. So far, like what we discussed over here, so we have discussed about like a how to tell the introduction in a interview according to your profile, right? So we have that video also already. So please watch that video. How to tell the introduction about yourself, like whenever you are going to work on the in interview according to your profile. Okay. The next thing about we have prepared the resume. How to prepare a resume as per the experience. And then after inside this resume, how to mention the projects. How to mention the projects inside the resume. So this video also I have shared. So please watch that video also. Okay. And apart from this, like we have done several sprint tasks. So we have a, sprint spreadsheet tasks as well. So if you are completing all these sprint spreadsheet tasks, then definitely you are like getting a full confidence on this complete course, like what are all the areas and what kind of tasks. Then after I have shared some interview questions and answers, interview questions and answers as well, that notepad. So I'm going to share you all these things, okay, one by one. So you need to follow up all those things I will share you today, like the sprint sheet tasks, the interview question answer task, notepad, how to prepare resume for experience, the video, and how to mention projects inside a resume, that video, and how to prepare the resume, how to tell the introduction in interview according to your profile, and also what is a kind of a agile methodology, what is the agile methodology in real time, in real time, how they are, how they are giving the tasks. So that video also I'm going to share with all of you. And then after we are going to focus on the project flow, okay, the real time project flow. So when we are discussing about this real time project flow, already we have discussed about the part of like a, we have taken the source SQL server, and I told you to install the Oracle database and FTP server. Okay, FTP server over here. These are the three different data sources we have taken, and from these three data sources, as of now, we are taking the data from a, we are taking the data from SQL server database. Correct. So this is the, this is what we were discussing over here. This is my data source, FTP server, SQL server, Oracle database. So three different data sources we have in our, three different data sources available in over here. Okay, let's go over here. So from my business, so business means, so what is your business? This is my business. These are my business applications. From your business applications, the data is coming and storing in the backend somewhere in a databases. SQL server, Oracle, or FTP server, whatever it is. So from the business applications, these are my business applications. These are my business applications. From the business applications, the data, when there is a transactions are happening, the data will be collected and stored in the either SQL server or it in a Oracle database, or it in a, if it is a files, it is going to be saved in the FTP server. What is FTP server? FTP server is all about like a storing of a files in your Windows folder, but it is connected to the internet file transfer protocol server. So from there, in the initial step, what I have done, so you have to create a three layers in your storage account of the data lake. So one is a raw layer, and the second layer is a silver layer, and the third one is a gold layer. Okay, so this is how I wanted to create the three layers, I mean three containers inside the storage account. So this kind of architecture in a storage account, whenever you are creating three different kind of layers, raw and raw layer, silver layer, and gold layer, we are calling this is as a medallion architecture. In interview, they were asking, did you follow the medallion architecture? So medallion architecture means it's all about three layers we are going to maintain. I have seen so many students, they don't know what exactly a medallion architecture, but they were implementing. But in interview, our interviewer is asking, did you follow the medallion architecture? So that they are feeling like it's a new thing. So medallion architecture means in our storage account layer, we are going to maintain three different kind of layers over here. Okay. Okay, first we are going to pull the data into data lake gen 2 into the raw layer. Let's, for example, my business having 10 tables over here. So daily the 10 tables data from my business application. In every business there is a application. In every business there is a application over here. The business application. So all the 10 tables you need to load into this raw layer like a 10 CSV files. This is the initial step. How you are going to do? By using a data factory. By using a data factory. But here we are implementing the incremental loading process. Incremental loading. So what exactly incremental loading? Incremental loading means only newly modified records. So in the step 1, what we are doing over here, copying of the all tables from source SQL server, copying of all the tables from source SQL server into data lake gen 2 raw container. While copying, we are following, we are implementing incremental loading. Incremental loading. What is incremental loading? Incremental loading means only newly modified, newly modified and added rows from the source we are filtering and copying into data lake, raw layer, raw container. You understand? In your source, one of the table contains thousands of the records, millions of the records. But day by day, what are the new records are adding? Only those records you need to filter into your raw layer. For example, in my customer table, I have 1000 records. Tomorrow again in the same customer table, 1200 records. So while you are copying tomorrow, you need to copy only these 200 records, whichever is added newly or modified. How can you recognize how many records are newly added? That can be recognized. That can be recognized based on the timestamp. Based on the timestamp, we can able to copying of these things over here. Okay. So for this you need to maintain one control table. This we are calling as a timestamp or the watermark value or the last modified date time. So please refer one of the video how we have implemented this incremental loading concept over here. I will share this video reference as well what you need to watch how to implement incremental loading process. Next, so once your files all files are copied, so finally my tables data from source copied into data lake gen 2 like a CSV files. Finally, my tables data from source copied into data lake gen 2 like a CSV files. This is the step 1. Now coming to the step 2. Step 1 is the file has all the tables data has copied into raw container like a CSV files. Then in the step 2, for every file we are going to create external tables. 10 external tables we are going to create by using a polybase. By using a polybase inside the Synapse dedicated SQL pool, Synapse dedicated SQL pool, we are going to create the 10 external tables. What do you mean by external tables? For every CSV file, we are going to create one external table. In the step 2, create Synapse dedicated SQL pool, and for every CSV file, one external table needs to create using polybase concept. I will share that polybase concept video as well. How to create a Synapse dedicated SQL pool over here. For every CSV file, one external table needs to be created using a polybase. So this also you have done. Next, what you need to do is by using this external tables, we have to join multiple tables. Why? Because the table whichever I have, my target table, let's take it a dim customer table. The dim customer table contains the columns having multiple tables. That means my source might be in a multiple tables, but my target data should be in one table. So you need to bring the data from different tables and load into single table. Let's for example contacts table, customer emails table, customer info table. So to load the data into dim customer table, the data is in three different tables, whatever the external tables you created. So what you need to do is you have to join all these three tables. You need to perform joining of multiple tables and perform the insert and update by using merge statement and keep that code inside a stored procedure. So this is how you need to create for every target table one stored procedure. This is how we need to create. You need to create for every target table one stored procedure. That means for dim customer one stored procedure, for dim product another, for dim category one stored procedure. So this is how whatever your target table scripts you have. So I have given already what is your source in SQL Server. In your source, what are the table scripts you need to use, what are the source table scripts and sample data how to generate, and what is your target tables. So finally, in the same Synapse dedicated SQL pool, you need to have a target tables. You are going to load the from these sectional tables by writing a stored procedure and performing the join operations. You are loading the data. Then finally, you are going to use Power BI to designing of the reports over here. Correct? So this is what we are implementing. Finally, you are connecting to this Synapse dedicated SQL pool from the Power BI. You are designing the reports. So if you observe here, so far this ETL process, this is my source to staging. Staging is this one. Staging to target. Target is Synapse. Here you are just extracting and loading, then after applying the extraction, transformation and loading. Okay. This is just using like a stored procedures SQL capabilities we are using more over here. If you want to implement the same thing by using a data factory, this is one process. I mean, multiple ways we can develop the project. The process, whatever you have done, this is one way. The second way is same. My target is Synapse dedicated SQL pool only. Whatever the 10 CSV files you have, we are going to load into same target tables whatever you have in a Synapse dedicated SQL pool. But this time I'm going to use data factory data flows by using a data factory data flows concept is there. Inside the data flows we can able to apply the transformations. So whatever you are doing by using the SQL stored procedure, by using a external tables and you are doing some uh, joinings, you need to joining of these tables and performing the insert update using merge statement and applying the transformations. Same thing what we are doing in the process 2, we are simply implementing of this one by using a data factory. Inside the data factory, we have a data flows available. So inside this process 2, what we are doing by creating a data factory pipeline, by taking a data flows, we are connecting to source. We are connecting to the source. What is the source over here? By connecting to the source over here. The source is the CSV files in raw container data lake gen 2. So your pipelines, data factory pipelines are connecting to your CSV files, whatever you have, and read the source and implement slowly changing dimension type 2, sorry, type 1 mechanism. What is a slowly changing dimension type 1 mechanism? Inserting the new record, updating the old record, same updating the modified record. Whatever you have done by using a stored procedure concept in the first process, same process we are using by using a data factory capabilities over here. By using a data factory capabilities, we are going to do it over here. So this video also I'm going to show you. Finally, loading the data into target. What is your target? Synapse dedicated SQL pool. By using data factory without writing any code, we are implementing this solution. That is second process. So then finally, Power BI will connect and designing of the reports and dashboards. Next process. By using data bricks. By using data bricks also you can able to implement the same logic. By using data bricks also we can able to do. How can you do? Simply again the same Synapse dedicated SQL pool. Whatever the target tables you have, by writing a notebooks connecting to this data lake gen 2, read all the CSV files, apply the transformations, loading the data. So this process can be done by using data bricks. Data bricks. This is the third process. Again, finally, the data is coming to this Synapse connecting from Power BI. Process 3, data bricks, notebooks. By using the data bricks notebooks, we can able to write down PySpark. So inside these notebooks, read the files by creating a mount point. Read all the 10 files, create the data frames, apply the joins, apply the whatever the transformations, and finally you can data into load the data into target tables. Perform the insert update by using again the merge statement inside the PySpark. So process 1, process 2, process 3. Process 1 we are completely depending on the process 1 we are completely depending on the SQL only. Process 1 is completely SQL capabilities. Process 2 is completely data factory capabilities. Process 3 is completely Databricks capabilities. So this is how we are doing three ways. Okay. The another scenario is I will provide that video as well. The another scenario is sometimes we are having some files. What files? Whatever, some data in a files format they will share daily. Some files, let's take it CSV files they are uploading. The CSV files first you need to copy into this raw layer. Okay. From this raw layer, this is a completely different stream. This raw layer, what you need to do is once you are copying as it is the CSV files into here, then please convert. How to do this one? By using a data factory. Just simply copy paste whatever the files you have using a data factory. From this raw folder to refined raw folder to silver folder, convert the files format instead of CSV to Parquet file format. Then after you can apply some transformation techniques and create a delta lake tables in the gold layer. Let me write down the complete scenario. This is completely Databricks scenario. So inside this Databricks scenario, what we are doing, my source is FTP server. Daily or weekly uploading files, CSV files. These CSV files are something like a survey reports, feedback, feedback, these kind of data. So what you need to do is using a data factory, copy the files from source to data lake gen to raw container. Using a data factory, copy the files from source to data lake gen to raw container. Let's make separate process here. This is my FTP server and this is my cloud. I have three layers: raw, silver, gold. First copy into raw layer. This is my FTP server. Contains three CSV files. All the three CSV files you can able to copy into this raw container. In a data lake by using data factory. Then after you need to load that data into from this raw to silver layer. But when you are copying these files from this raw to silver layer, I am requesting to convert into Parquet format. All the three CSV files into three Parquet file format. Three Parquet file format. So how you are going to do this? By using a Databricks notebooks. Then after from the silver to gold layer, try to apply the transformations and create a delta lake tables. You know what is a delta lake table? Try to create delta lake tables by using again Databricks notebooks. So then your Power BI is going to connect to this final delta lake tables, and if you want, you can able to design the Power BI reports. This is another channel. Okay, so sometimes in place of in future in your projects, currently you are using source as a SQL server, right? In future, your source might be simply replaced with Oracle also. Instead of SQL server in your local computer, in some of the projects, your data source might be Oracle as well. Your data source might be Oracle database as well. So in such kind of situations, you can able to use the Oracle database also. You can use the Oracle database as well. This is what the complete flow of the projects what we are doing over here. So what I will do, I will provide you step by step guide what exactly you need to take it in the process one, what is your source, what is your reference videos you need to watch, and what are the files you need to collect, what is your source, and here what kind of transformations you need to apply here. So that's in detail process we can go in the next session. What is the files, source files, you need to take it, everything I will explain one by one. This is the video you need to refer, this is the source to implement this process, and these are the source scripts, these are the target scripts, you need to follow all those things I will. So in interview, according to this process, you need to explain the project. So what you have done in your project, you need to explain these two process. So where our data source system is on-premises SQL server, we are loading the data into data lake gen 2. There are three kind of layers using data factory incremental loading. Then immediately they will ask a question, how did you implement the incremental loading? You need to tell that process as well. So then if you are telling Polybase or Data Factory or Databricks, choose any of one. Don't tell all these three. Some people are telling, I have loaded the data using Polybase, I have loaded the data using Data Factory, I have loaded the data using Databricks. They are telling all these things. No, you should not tell like that. Okay, so you have to choose any of one process efficiently and explain them. This is what we have followed. Okay, and in this entire episode, this is a technical process and project flow, but you should know about your domain knowledge as well, because they will ask you what exactly you are trying to give your end customer, what kind of reports and dashboards you have created. So in your resume, what projects you are keeping on the domain business type, according to that, try to set few reports. What kind of reports and dashboards we can create according to your domain? You need to tell them, and you need to tell them the what are all the dimension tables and fact tables you have, and some of the table names you need to tell. Okay, so you are telling, for example, you are working a insurance project. You should know something about your insurance project, right? Otherwise, how can you speak about that? Let's, for example, you can goes to here. I'm doing a insurance project, right? In my resume, I'm putting insurance projects. Give me some sample tables and columns and kind of reports. See, so when you are working for any insurance projects, if they're asking, give me some table names, you need to tell this policyholders table, what kind of columns you might have inside the table. This domain knowledge is very, very important. Claims table, payments table. According to your domain, you need to do all these things. This R&D. If you're not doing this one, that means you are not working on that project. And what kind of reports finally Power BI team has designed? Policyholder report. So what exactly that policyholders? Policy report, claims report, payments report. Okay, and agent performance report, policy expiration report. So these kind of reports you need to tell them immediately when you are discussing about the project. The first, when in interview, when they're asking, hey, tell me what are all the reports you have developed in your project. So you need to tell them more on this domain knowledge as well, the project flow, and also if you're speaking more on the business, then they will understand, oh, this guy has worked really and he has a good knowledge. Okay, So tomorrow we will go in detail about these things, and each step by step, what are all the resources you need to refer for point to point. All those things we can discuss in the next session. Okay.